My name is Bryce Tubbs. I help psychotherapists attract clients who will pay out of pocket. They are also known as private pay clients or self pay clients. Now, today's topic is talking about why people come on the phone ready to pay and wanting to pay, but then, they start backpedaling. So, this is a very, very, very common thing, especially when either you've been filling up with insurance based clients and you're now trying to make that transition into private pay only, or if you've never actually gotten private pay clients and you're just starting out. So, you know, there are multiple stages inside of the consultation. And most people think that a consultation is lost in the last 5 minutes because that's where it's the most apparent, right? The only time that we know whether or not it's working or whether it hasn't worked is when the person says yes or no. But oftentimes, it's not that. It's generally the beginning of the consultation and even more how you set up the consultation. Did the person know that you were, a private pay or cash basis only? Did they know a range of what you charge per hour? Did they know that this call was not just a free call just to do like a free pretend trial? Like this is to see if they actually want to work together. And then let's assume that all three of those that I just said are true. So they know how much it's going to cost. They know you're only accepting cash, and you tell them about a range of how much it should cost to work with you, and that this consultation is to see about what it's like to work with you, not just a free session, basically. Once you really have gotten those, which I'm assuming that you have if you're still watching this video, is the beginning of the consultation. You have to be able to, one, build that sense of connection, find that little bit of rapport. Basically, do you have similar values and beliefs? Oftentimes, what you'll hear is people talk about, yeah, talk about the weather, talk about, their kids or something fun they have. And the reason why that was traditionally taught was because they were trying to build rapport. However, rapport really comes down to values. The reason why they're trying to connect with the weather is because, if it's sunny outside and then it's sunny out the side where they are, okay, that's one thing you have in common. Or if you both like going fishing on the weekend, okay, that's another thing in common. Or if you both have kids in soccer, that's another thing in common. And the reason why they were trying to do commonalities is because commonalities are generally tied to values. Because if you do the same activities, you generally think similar, and you have, similar things are important to you. But just for our purposes, let's assume that you understand how to get those values because you're asking the right questions. Now, the most important part is how do we transition that? How do we identify exactly what they want to get out of working with us? Because you see, if we don't understand that, no matter what we say for the rest of the call, is not going to allow them to know that we are the one to work with. They're always going to have that question in their head like, this person doesn't understand me, or this person doesn't really get it, or I'm just not feeling it. It really comes down to, are you understanding what they want? Do you understand their core? What are they really struggling with? Because oftentimes they'll tell you they're struggling with something, but if you've been, in psychotherapy for any period of time, you oftentimes know that what they say is different than what they do and what they're actually struggling with. So you have to be able to hear it with your heart as much as with your ears. Okay, so now let's say that you understood that. Now it's part of the value walk. How do you explain the process of working with you in a step-by-step manner that allows them to really say, okay, cool. So if we follow this, and it should. That sounds like it should take me about 12 weeks, maybe 3 months. Wow, I'm gonna put some work into it. Do I really want this? Once they can start thinking and picturing that inside of their head, and they can accurately and clearly understand what it is, they're going to be it's going to be more serious. Oftentimes what happens is we talk, but if we're used to either doing it, the insurance way, where it doesn't really matter what we say, it's because they're not paying for it, then, it doesn't really matter. But when it comes to them having to pay out of pocket, there's always a set of scales that goes on in their mind. Am I actually going to get my money's worth? Is basically what they're saying. And if they don't know what they're going to get, tangible, what in their life is going to change, they're going to say, it's not worth it. So the value walk is very important, which you can only get a good value walk if you ask the right question in the fact finding. And the only way you can get asked the right question in the fact finding is if you have a little bit of beliefs and values in common with the rapport, because then they're actually going to tell you the truth and not really, hold a lot of stuff back. You start understanding that process, you're going to start attracting more clients and closing more consultations with people who pay out of pocket. Instead of saying, can I use my insurance or I have to think about it, they're going to say, how do I pay you? And you're going to be like, Your biggest problem at that point is going to be scrambling to send them a payment link or the calendar to actually get started. That's a real problem. Don't get me wrong. I was on a strategy session the other day, and I wasn't expecting the person to pay. I was just gonna just basically give him just a session, just talk because he was new. And at the end he goes, "Okay, how do I give you my money?" And I was like, "Oh crap, I wasn't prepared for that." So I had to literally be on my computer right then and there making the invoice and then send it to him. And yeah, that was the biggest problem that day. Making the invoice for the person to pay me the $5,000 for that particular program. But if you want me to show you step by step how to go and attract clients, then I recommend you come and join us inside of our free community. Inside, I give you resources, tips, training, and tools to show you step by step how to go and fill up your practice with clients who pay out of pocket. So if that is what you've been searching for, I want you to come and join us inside. I just want to personally invite you to come and join us inside the community. I'm going to post a link to that either above or below the video, depending on where you're seeing it. Now, hopefully you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. I will see you in the next video. See you later.